the Roland Alpha Juno 2, one of my favorite synths. But for reasons I will not go into here, I also want to use this as a master keyboard with split MIDI zones. And to help me do that, I'm going to use the MIDI Solutions router. Now this box can do a lot of things, but for now let's just use it to create some MIDI zones using the MIDI in and the two MIDI outs. While we're at it, let's program in some different pitch bend ranges in the different MIDI zones. So the MIDI Solutions router is basically a 1-in 2-out MIDI data router filter, and selected MIDI messages can be routed to either, both, or neither of the router's two MIDI options. Perfect for my case here, where I want to create some MIDI zones and some other filtering stuff. I have 10 settings I can program to do different things, and let's check out what some of them can do. The first router setting, and I choose the input data type, and as you can see we have control ranges, we have program change ranges, we have sys message ranges, pitch bend ranges, etc. And what I was interested in here was the keyboard range and the MIDI channel outs. So it's just a matter of picking out the input note range and setting the input MIDI channel, picking the output MIDI channel, which can be the same as in this case for the example, and I set the router to output this to either output number 1 or output number 2, or neither if I want to, or both. Let's check out some of the other options. You have note range, which operates pretty much as the keyboard range in terms of programming. You can filter the polyphonic pressure range. You have things like pitch bend range, which you can filter. You have control message range, very useful actually. And of course you can filter system message ranges. And that's very handy if you're working with old drum computers or sequencers, etc. If you have old synths that only responds to all MIDI messages, like constant omni on, you could use this to filter out anything except for one MIDI channel if you want to use that in a multi-timbral setup. Here I'm loading in my settings, which I've used to make those MIDI zones on the Alpha Juno as you saw in the beginning. I've set 3 different MIDI ranges. Input MIDI channel 1 is routed to MIDI channel 2 for the second range. And for the third range, I've set it up the same way. The upper part of the keyboard, again coming from MIDI channel 1, but being routed out to MIDI channel number 3. And in this case, I've set everything to go out on both the router's MIDI output ports. This is also where I would set up those pitch bend ranges to act differently on those 3 different MIDI outputs. To program the MIDI router, I have one output from my MIDI interface going into the MIDI in on the router. So now I'll just transmit those settings over to the MIDI router, which will remember this when I plug it out and put it into my MIDI chain. So now I can use the Roland Alpha Juno 2 not only as a synth, but also as a master keyboard in a MIDI setup for later. So the bass in zone 1, tubular bells in zone 2, and the strings in zone 3. And I could have set up 10 different zones as you previously saw, and it's all happening out of MIDI channel number 1. In case you're wondering, I use the Yamaha DMP7 as a mixer, and I run the Korg EX8000 for the bass sound through it. I have the Yamaha TX802 for the tubular bells, and you can't see it, but I have the Kawai K3M doing the strings. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration of the MIDI Solutions router. Please check the video description for links, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!